Welcome to FFCC's Off the Menu. This is where we share stories and ideas. We get to meet industry professionals, get to know who they are, what they believe in, how they got to where they are, and of course, the lessons learned along the way. Today, I have with me someone who's a veteran in the industry, having led international brands and homegrown franchises for one of MENA's largest retail organizations. He is definitely a leadership force to reckon with. He has led teams to deliver results, identified the right opportunities, and he solves problems with speed and agility. Meet Shariful Sharif, the CEO of Ulan Food Division. Welcome to the show, Sharif.
Thank you, Minnie. Thank you very much. It's my privilege and honor to be here.
Thank you so much. So let's dive straight in with something that you are very well known for, your leadership skills. So, what would you say, what kind of leadership qualities do you have that you feel has helped you reach where you are today?
I think leadership has so many faces and different attitudes. But I think what helped me across all my career to be successful or to achieve the results we have achieved all together as teams was the people I worked with. It is how you select your team, how you develop them, how you work with them, and how you let them feel what they do, how they do it, and feel the success of it and learn from the failures. I think this is the most thing that I would say was attributing to my success in life.
So, that is like the qualities that you feel that you have is working with the teams that you've led them, motivated them, and that is what you feel has been your best leadership
I would say
qualities.
this is the most important thing in terms of quality of leadership. I don't want to say my own leadership. It's just the general leadership of everybody. It's all about team. Of course, you have to have a vision. Of course, you have to agree on where we are going as a team. We need to stop at specific points to check where we are and what did we achieve and how to fix and keep going. But I think the most important thing was always has been people.
Okay, and is that also success to you? What does success mean to you?
Success means to achieve what we want to achieve, having people who are happy with those achievements, being rewarded for those achievements, and having shareholders who are very happy with those achievements as well. This is the key matrix that I would measure for is the growth, the achievements of our targets, or even better, the happiness of the team and the happiness of the shareholders.
Okay, and has this, what the metrics that you measure success with, has it changed over the years?
Of course, it happened as we grow. I guess we grow more mature in our lives. In the beginning, the success was for all your self-esteem. It was for me accomplishing. Yes, I did it. And then it evolves with time, understanding the shareholders' perceptions, the people perceptions, and then the market dynamics as well. This is, I guess, now it becomes so many factors all together that make the pyramid comes whole.
Together, right? So, what would you say is the hardest part of your job, which people don't know about? I mean, of course, being the CEO, being at the top is a lonely place to be, like what they say. So, what would you say is the hardest part of being there?
Uh, I think the hardest part is not being an CEO or in a leadership position. I think the hardest part is in our industry, it takes a lot of time to perform. It's not a 9 to 6 job. Uh, it's not only me, but all my colleagues in all my career. We used to work all day long in the offices, and then starting 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. at most, we start going to our restaurants to talk to our teams, talk to restaurant managers, check quality, hear great ideas, recognize our teams, and talk to them. See what's the impact, maybe sometimes even talk to customers. And this takes a lot of time. I would say more than 60% of our business happens between 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. And I think in this industry, the entire management team, including myself, we have to be in the restaurants during those times, at least 4 times a week, minimum.
Right.
Unless it requires sometimes that we work in official holidays, weekends, because this is the action. This is where you
Right.
go and see actually what's happening in your
Right.
restaurants and what's happening with your customers, and what's happening with our staff as well. Our employees also, it's very important to see the worst of their conditions at work, because the rush times are their worst conditions. You can see them working with the equipment. Are the kitchens with good environment or not? Are the ACs in a good condition or not? You just need to make sure that they are also working in the best conditions in order to be able to deliver what we expect them to deliver.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A happy workforce is a productive workforce.
100%.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the part where, uh, in my growth career, this is what kept me away from my family. I wasn't there in all the holidays. I wasn't there in all the dinners.
For the
I missed
children.
a lot of events with my wife and my kids, which I won't say I regret, because I am who I am today because of what I have contributed to my work. But I would advise anybody starting their career is to try to make better balance.
Right. That's right. Because I think that work-life balance does get affected in this industry,
It
like what
does.
you say,
It does.
right?
It does big time.
So how were you able to find that balance? Of course, you just said it has been difficult, but were you actually at any point of time able to really take time off and say that, I'm just going to take this break?
Okay, I'll have to tell you the story that I tell to everybody actually. So for me to wake up on this matter, I had to have a slap on my face. So I was working in a position at a time. It was a GM position for a country, and I actually reached a level of traveling on the regional level for about like maybe 180 to 270 days per year.
Wow.
And I remember very well, I arrived back home on a Thursday night. I had my cousin and his family at home visiting us from Egypt. I had my entire family there. I woke up in the morning and was going. My wife has prepared a huge breakfast for everybody. And I was just walking down and I see my little son at that time. He was like 2 or 3 years old, just starting barely to walk. Never heard him making a full statement. And I was walking down the stairs and I saw him and I said, "Hey, hi, Omar, how are you?" And he ran away. And then I took it very lightly as like normal, we're playing with that. And then I reached the kitchen and I looked at him, and then he was holding his mother leg and looked at me and looked at her and then looked at me again. And then who said, "Who's this?" And this was the first sentence that I heard from my son.
Oh my God.
I heard bits and pieces of words, but the full,
Sentence.
complete sentence made was him asking about me, "Who is he?"
That truly must have felt like a slap
And
in the
this
face.
was, and then I was like, I hugged him, na 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 na, and then we are all moving to the dining area, and then I saw a cat inside the house, and we don't have cats. Very nice cat with a red ribbon around the neck. I was like, did I see? Because we had all the windows open and anything can walk in from outside, from the garden or anything. And I was like, there is a cat in the house. And I was like panicking. And everybody was very cool about it. They said, "Yeah, this is Sam." And I said, "Who's Sam?" And they said, "Yeah, it's the cat of the neighbors." I said, "Oh, it's normal. Sam is walking around in the house." They said, "Yeah, you're just not around a lot. So Sam meet Sharif, Sharif meet Sam." Yeah, at that time I realized that I'm missing a lot.
Yeah.
It was like, especially with the Omar situation. I remember at that time, the next day I went to the company and I reduced my traveling schedule by like 40%. Still, we're still working weekends by night, but at least the traveling
It's
yeah.
better.
I took a decision that day.
Okay. Makes sense, I guess.
So yeah, sometimes you get slapped on the face to wake up.
Absolutely. But clearly you love what you're doing. But what if you were not doing this? What would you have been doing?
Uh, Before I joined my current position, I left the industry and I worked for an oil and gas company that I loved. Actually, it was a very nice experience. I'm a mechanical engineer, so it was nice to, for once in my life, to work using my degree. Uh, And it was a very good job, very, very well paid. I was enjoying it. I was based in Dubai with my family. Everything was fine. And then I got this job offer that was bringing me back to the industry. And I was talking with my wife, and I said, should I go? Shouldn't I go? It will be, I'll have to relocate. I don't know if we'll all relocate or not. It was a big decision to be taken. And then my wife looked at me and she said, Sharif, you're not happy. Go back to food. Like, you've been living with us for 4 years. The last 4 years, you were not happy the same way you were before. Please do us all a favor and go back to food. And this is that I realized, or maybe at that time I realized, what does the word passion means.
Right.
I actually took the job. I went back to work in food, and yes, I love it. It's nice.
And fantastic.
So nope, I don't want to do anything else.
It's very clear.
I just want to keep doing what I'm doing because I tried. If I didn't try, maybe I would have had a wish. But since I tried it, no, this is what I want to do until the end of my career, inshallah.
Fantastic. I'm sure you are doing a fantastic job and will continue to do so.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Thank you.
So shifting gears to the brands that you run and operate, what role does customer feedback play in shaping the direction of your brands? Like, I mean, do you use feedback to improve and shift directions, do anything like that? How do you use customer feedback?
Okay. I guess it is the whole thing.
Okay.
Customer feedback is the whole thing. So we do qualitative research, we do quantitative research, we do focus groups. We even do something that I actually learned this year, is that we do home visits to customers.
Oh,
where we go visit the customers based on a specific profile, sit with them in their own home for an hour to 2 hours, talking about the industry, talking about their culture, talking about what they like, what they don't like. They usually don't know where we are coming from. They think that we are a research company. And through a specific set of questions, we start diverting to go to discuss our brands among the competitors. And it's mind-blowing, the amount of things you hear and see yourself once you are doing it, because we hired this company that is doing this for us.
Okay.
And then we divided all our management teams to attend.
Okay,
So
to
it's
go
like
along
2
with
to
them.
3 weeks. Every single day we have like 4 or 5 interviews set. And each one of us has to attend at least 5 sessions where you attend with locals, non-locals, youngsters, oldsters, family, individuals. We go through the whole process.
Wow.
So 100% of our decisions, to be honest, are based on customer feedback.
So this is the first time I'm hearing something like this, where you're actually going to people's homes and taking feedback.
I actually heard about it, but in the FMCG.
Okay.
It is the first time that I hear about it in our industry, and it's the first time that I've done it myself. It was through a consultant firm that has advised us to do this and led us to do this.
Okay.
But I have to admit, it was super insightful.
Okay. Did you also get to hear things that you didn't want to hear?
I think many. But the best part is when I did 5 interviews myself, and 3 of them, when I walked in, and the first question, after the introduction and everything. So when we say, which brand do you prefer the most? And actually 3 of them said our brand. So I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm happy. Let's have a good discussion. So this was interesting to hear. But yeah, we hear and learn.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the things I thought that when we do influencers on social media, I thought that we pay them, they do a great deal, people see it, and then one of the customers looked at me and he said, no, you pay for those influencers. They will always say everything you want them to say. We don't trust the influencers.
Wow.
And I said, but this is the biggest industry today in the world.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, but what makes me feel comfortable is when I go on the comments and I start reading, based on what the influencer is saying, people who actually went and visit, and are they confirming what the influencer is saying or not?
Right.
I was like, oh my God, do you actually go and read all of those comments? He said,
I am
yeah.
one who does that actually.
Then it
So,
seems that I am the one who's not doing this.
no, because that makes a lot of sense, because influencers, you're paying them, they say what they have to say, exactly like what your customer
Yeah.
said. But then it's the others who comment on that who give the true feedback of
Yes,
what
yes.
actually it
So
is. So,
this
but it's
was an eye
interesting.
opener for me.
Yeah,
I thought that these comments are usually like not as significant as I expected them to be,
right.
but it seems like that they are big time.
They are, and they're here to stay for now, at
Yes,
least,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes.
So, when it comes to customers and retaining customers, do you think loyalty programs help, or do you think just food and service is good enough?
I think it's a combination. The food and the quality of the service and the experience in the restaurants, starting from the plants, the music, how the restaurant looks, the colors, the cleanliness of the bathrooms, everything. These are fundamentals that we cannot
Yeah,
go side from.
right,
If these are not right, whatever we do, it will not work.
right.
But nowadays, customer loyalty, I think, is becoming a kind of an education where the customers are going along with it. It's not us. Show me one thing that is working on the planet today that does not have a customer loyalty. You want to go on the train? There is a loyalty program. You want to go on the bus? You want to go into an Uber?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
anything you want to do
Yeah.
today has an incentive to excite customers to come back again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I thank God that we are working in this era of AI. I remember in the old days when you used to give the customer a card and we punch the holes, and then after he does like 7 or 8
You
tries,
get something.
you get something free.
Right.
But today, with the apps and how we can actually tailor design every single thing we say to each consumer. I remember in one of the focus groups, a lady was sitting there and she said, I love about the app of this brand is that they send me and my husband different messages. And the person who was leading the focus group said, so how is that? He said, yeah, it was in his birthday, he got a birthday. I got something totally different. I got something more related to females. He got something very related to males. He got the notifications in times. I got them in different times. So actually people are not only following that, but they're recognizing how smart the system is operating.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to keep growing and growing, and companies will keep innovating in this area and competing. And end of the day, it's all for the good of the customer.
All right. I mean, the specificity of that communication becomes
Now it's very individualized.
Yes.
It's very personal.
Yeah.
It's like if our brand is talking to you, it's you.
Yeah.
It's not talking to a lot of people and you are part of it. No. Brands are now actually talking to individuals.
Right. Talking of loyalty, but another form of loyalty, when we're talking HR and the recruiting, finding the right person, retaining the right talent, all that has always been a challenge in the food service industry. Do you think that what are your thoughts on the concept of job loyalty in today's economy? Like, that's
I would tell every CEO, every head of HR, every owner of a business, if you have somebody good, just stick to them. The competition is becoming massive.
right.
The amount of brands and outlets opening is becoming massive. People who know the business and who do not know the business are working in it. You can no longer say that there is a package bracket for any specific jobs, because simply anybody who wants anybody, they just keep offering more.
Yes.
And then you have to really depend on the employee himself. He sees the future or not, because sometimes, especially young people, they get so excited about their salaries growing and they keep moving from every year from one job to the other.
Yes.
Until they either make it if they are lucky or they crash and burn.
Yeah.
Because they don't even give themselves the time to learn and to gain experience and make experience. I think as we said in the beginning, people is the fundamental of the success of the company. You need to make sure that people are happy in your company. I'm a very strong believer, super believer, in that people leave people, people do not leave organizations. So you need to have your people happy, motivated. You need to have that. All your leadership is good. Their own stuff, they like them. They like working for them.
Right.
And this is all is easily once we create what I would call the family environment.
Right.
At the company, I don't recommend that we work as colleagues. And no. We're all family.
Right.
We wake up together. We spend more time together actually in the office than we spend with our own families.
Right.
And we need to be familiar with all the how would say all the personal sides of each person. I know each person in the office, who are his kids, what they're going through, when their wife travels, when they don't, who is sick, what is. I remember the biggest advice I would give, because majority of us are working as expats,
Right.
a big part of us. And whenever it says my dad is sick or my mother is sick, or I say just leave everything and go right now. You are not part of their lives anymore for a very long time.
Yeah.
And if they need you, just go. And God bless technology. People can work from
Work
far
from
away.
home. Exactly.
We don't miss them a lot. They are still there. They're on top of their game. But yeah, and these things, they make a difference when somebody's have masalan, a problem and they need to disappear for one. I know for me, I come from the culture of if somebody wants to go do one thing and they apply for a vacation for one day, I never accept it. I say, one day, are you going to answer your phone or not? He says, yes, I'm going to answer my phone if work need me. I said, then it's not a vacation.
Yeah.
You don't need to waste. You need your vacation in the summer to go and spend quality time with your family.
Right.
Don't waste it one day here and one day there, 5 here and 5 there.
Yeah.
We are all here to cover each other. You are available on the phone. You have your laptop with you.
Yeah.
1 or 2 days, just do whatever you want to do. When we need you, we'll find you.
Right.
And these things create this sense of
environment.
belonging. Yes.
Yeah.
This environment where we care for each other.
Yeah.
Where we think of each other and we set our own selves as a priority as well. It's not only about money. It's not only about growth.
Yeah.
It's about we being really caring for each other.
Yeah.
And taking
as
care
people,
of each other.
as people, just
Yes.
being empathetic and understanding what the team is going through,
100%.
nurturing them, giving them that feeling of a good environment, I think is a good way of retaining the people,
Yes.
because then people feel they are wanted as well,
It's family.
Yeah.
They're wanted and they're cared for.
Yes.
They know that they're safe in this place.
Yeah.
They know that it's not stabbing and bureaucracy and hypocrisy. And,
All
no,
that.
we are all one team in
Yeah.
the same boat. We go together, we come together, we succeed together, we fail together.
That's
And if we
fantastic.
can create this constant feel in the environment, this is what makes people stay and never go.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you, because there's no two ways about this at all. And money is one thing, but this, what you're talking about, is much more than money in most cases, I feel. Yeah. So you talked about failures. I'm sure in all your long experience, there have been setbacks and failures. And how do you cope with that?
Well, failures are a lot, alhamdulillah. Sometimes we panic. Sometimes we say, yeah, we learned, it was good. But if I look at it today, after all of those years of experience, this is what made us strong. This is what built our experience. This is what makes our failures today are much less than before.
Of course.
But I don't think it's inevitable. We have to fail.
Yeah.
We have to learn from our mistakes. I don't usually take it easily, but I get hard on myself when I fail. But it's part of life.
Yeah.
We fail, we stand up. The most important part is we learn from what did we do wrong
That is,
in order not to make it again.
and not to do it again. Yeah.
The failure, when you do it twice, this is when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is when I really get berserk. If we do the same mistake twice.
Right.
I remember in the beginning of my life, my professional life, one of the senior management in that company that I was working, he looked at me and said, there are two smart people. People who learn from their mistakes are smart. But people who learn from their mistakes and the mistakes of others are much smarter. And I never forgot
true.
that.
Yeah.
You need to always keep looking. As we go forward, we look at our brands and we look to the competitors in the market and we see and analyze what did they do right, what did they... Sometimes we laugh at something that we see and it turns out to be great.
Exactly.
And some other time we see, oh, that's smart, we should have thought before, and it turns out to be a huge disaster, actually.
Yeah.
So learning from our own mistakes and learning from other mistakes and failures is very important. And it requires that we always keep looking.
Yeah, keeping your eyes open.
Yes,
all the time.
100%,
right?
100%.
Great, fantastic. So which brings us to that part of the section, which is the this or that questions that I'm going to shoot to you. You can tell me whether you agree or disagree, and in one line, tell me why you do so. Okay? So which works better, focusing on food quality or service quality?
Does it have to be one choice? Can I choose both?
But which do you think is more important? If I may ask?
I would focus more on quality.
Service quality or food?
Food quality.
Food quality,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes with service, people can forgive us. But with food quality, if they don't like the food, they will never come again.
Makes sense.
And we stand for the food.
Yes, I mean, after all. What do you believe in? Hands-on leadership or delegating authority?
These are very hard questions. I mean, you should not do this to me. I do both.
Which do you feel is more important?
I
Is it
think
to-
delegation is more important when it comes to leadership. I think hands-on will be more on developing the teams to do the task,
Right.
not doing it yourself. So guidance, support, this is the big focus, but delegating is very important.
Fair enough. Okay, what yields better results? Investing in staff training or investing in technology?
I would definitely go in staff training.
Okay.
And this because they will manage the technology, they will feed the technology. The more they know, the more they will create the technology to be their arm.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Restaurants should focus on quicker table turnover to increase revenue instead of encouraging patrons to linger and enjoy their meal at a leisurely pace.
No, let people enjoy and sit as much as
That's, I think, naturally that comes to you, right? From your culture as
just
well.
let them sit and enjoy. I'll tell you one thing. The more crowded the restaurants, the more they're bringing people. So let the people enjoy. We are living in a very fast pace.
Yeah.
And my business is not in fine dining. It's all casual dining and
Right.
fast food.
Right.
So by nature, our people walk in, they eat, they leave, or now more than 40 to 50% is becoming delivery and
yes.
takeaway. So we have those huge assets that used to be great in the old days.
Right.
Now they're not used as before. So let people come,
people
enjoy
sit.
themselves.
So this evening, I'm going to come and enjoy at one of your brands.
Please,
then.
I'll look forward. Please tell me, I'll be with you.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. That brings us to the end of this podcast. I think it was wonderful having you on the show and learning from you and listening to all your stories.
Thank you very much. It's my honor, and it's always a pleasure to be with you, whether here or in the great events that you prepare for us every year. And I look forward to see you soon, Sean.
Thank you so
Thank you very much.
Thank you.